I spend 12 hours a day just putting one screw in the iPhone. My name is Jian Zhang. I work in a Pegatron Apple factories.
Leading brands such as Apple and Samsung outsource their production to little-known Chinese firms, where labor cost could be lower, safety standards weaker and environmental regulations more lax than in the Western countries. This side is well hidden behind their secrecy policy about their supply chains. Despite their corporate claims about leading promoters of ethics and responsibility worldwide, a lot of workers committed suicide who were working on under the Foxconn Electronics in Shenzhen, which makes parts for Apple and lot other foreign companies. Along with this, death caused by leukemia in South Korea, which were caused by the chemicals used in production of Samsung phones.
This is where your iPhone 6 comes from. These are the first secret pictures from inside the factories that produce for Apple. An exhausted workforce, people sleeping on their breaks, others falling asleep as they work.
Well, staying with Samsung Electronics, but on a different topic, it has apologized to former workers of its chip production facilities who have suffered health problems as a result of their jobs. Kwon No-hyun, the CEO of the tech giant, apologized Wednesday and promised compensation for the victims and their families. Kwon said a number of workers at Samsung production plants had developed leukemia and other incurable diseases that, in some cases, led to their death. Now, a dispute between the company and former workers has been ongoing since a former employee died of leukemia in 2007. Family members attribute their exposure to chemicals at factories as the cause, and Kwon's apology is the first formal one offered by the company.
Samsung, one of South Korea's biggest business dynasties, had once again come into the limelight. Among all the series of scandals, Samsung chairman Lee Kun-nae has added tax evasion onto the list by embezzling the bank accounts held by employees. A total of $368 million has been reported to be abused by the former chairman under a different name. He was sentenced to a 5-year imprisonment by the court.
The vice chairman of Samsung was arrested. Sometimes the news is stranger than fiction. A South Korean court approved a warrant for the arrest of J.Y. Lee. Lee is essentially the acting head of the Samsung Group. Lee's father is officially the chairman of Samsung. However, due to the fact Lee's father is ill, Lee has been serving as the
Apple admits that it deliberately have been slowing down the performance of its iPhones as they get older without notifying the customers. Though the company claims this move is not designed to encourage customers to upgrade to newer models, rather it claims it is a precautionary measure for performance to give the phone a longer life. However, a user expects a full performance or reduced performance according to their choice. On the contrary, this issue of low performance has caused the user to think, my phone is slow, so should I replace it rather than just change its battery?
Some iPhone owners say they want Apple to pay for slowing down older phones. The tech giant is facing multiple lawsuits after it admitted that it slows down older models. This comes as analysts say fewer people than expected asked for a new iPhone 10 under the tree this Christmas. CNN's Samuel Burke joins us live for more. So
we can directly say that companies have created different strategies for their competitive advantage. They have ignored the fact that every human life matters. Though they have mesmerized the consumers with anticipation and hopes of new and better. However, over the years of mass production, there has more than often the reports of misconduct and forced labors. Thought it is not a new argument for people to question the activities of companies and demand transparency. Sadly, they always find loopholes to avoid the system. We as consumers, too, play a huge role in this grand global scheme. We need to be aware of our responsibilities and only buy our necessities by careful analysis. If we consumers do not accept the circumstances of our action, then the situation will never change because every life matters.